Big one, a lot at stake here tonight. So we're playing the Milwaukee Bucks. We're tied for second place with the Bucks. So this is a big deal for this game right here. This is for second place. So we'll see where that goes. The season series right now is 1-1. So the winner of this game gets the series. Right now, Sixers, it started off as Sixers were a 2-point favorite at home against the Bucks. Last I looked about 30 minutes ago, we were a 1.5-point favorite against the Bucks. So who do you guys have and why in this one?
I have the Sixers winning. Seems like I always say that. But in this particular game, I think that it's probably the biggest game we've had since maybe the Brooklyn game. And I think the way that we performed in that game, we can't come out and be even anything close to duplicating that. So I think you got to get to the point where now this is a top team, defending champion, tiebreaker. It could come down to who could get home court advantage in the playoffs. So I think it's a really, really big game. And I think that we got to come out, and the importance and the level of intensity has to be so much higher than we had before. And it got to mean a lot more to us because I don't think Milwaukee fears us. I don't think that they think that, I think they're very confident they can beat us, even with the changes. I know for a fact that Drew Holiday is comfortable guarding James. And I think that Giannis doesn't fear anybody. So I don't think that they really fear us. So you got to put some kind of a dent in that confidence. And that has to happen tonight.
Yeah, I looked into two things. I looked into how the Bucks are defensively inside. So overall defensive rating, they're 13th, but they are fourth and best in allowing points in the paint. So, and they have Lopez back. So I am curious to see how Embiid does against them in the paint. But he does average 28 and 11 against them, and I think you'll have a little extra juice because of that recent MVP poll. But we'll get to that I think later on in the week. The other thing I looked at was Harden's stats against Drew. So not directly when he's guarding him, but against Drew's team since 2017 and 18, averaging overall 26 points per game on 41% shooting and 32 from three, but including the playoffs and this year. So just the last 2 years, averaging 19 points a game on 38% and 12 for 44 from three, which is 27%. So Drew, man, I mean, he knows how to D up, and I think he likes guarding Harden. I think he likes D'ing up on him. So he's an awesome.
James is an easier matchup. You may think that James and Trae Young, a guy like Trae Young, is harder for Drew because James seeks contact, whereas Trae Young doesn't. So I think the more the guy kind of seeks contact, Drew Holiday sort of like, that's sort of how I play defense. The guys that kind of seek the contact, makes it a little not easy, but easier to defend versus a guy that's very elusive and don't let you touch him. And when you do touch him, he acts like, he's got hit with a stick. So
Drew's physical. So once you initiate that physicality, he can then engage and be physical with you.
Because he can hold up the strength. And then he's long arms. He's getting, very active, good feet, plays the angles really well. Great so that's a tough matchup for James.
Yeah.
I think that's also a matchup where Milwaukee probably don't feel like they need to help as much. So if that's the case, then now all of a sudden they're putting more of that emphasis on Joel. So it's even bigger that, Joel has success and James takes advantage of if he getting switches or, taking open looks. And then other people got to, this series right here, I honestly think may come down to, Tobias being able to maintain a level of play that maybe match what Chris Middleton does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And Niang too. Niang, the last time we played them at was 6 for 12 from three. So hopefully he's.
Yeah, that's the thing about like with a guy like Niang, like he had a big games, but you can't always depend on that because we don't even know how Doc's going to play him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's we don't know. He's still a reserve, so his minutes could drop.
I do really think it's a big game for Harden's psyche of going against Drew, possibly in the playoffs. So if Drew dominates him tonight, it's like, oh man, I'm not scared about playing you in a series. I'm not like so.
I'm telling you right now, Milwaukee does not fear us at all. I know that for a fact.
They're the champs.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have to, but I think we win. I think we win a close one. I think it's one of those where we're hitting free throws late. They're fouling us, and we get to about like a 6 point victory. I think.
Yeah, I think it's a big game, kind of what you said, both you guys. But as far as the MVP odds, where that goes, after that straw poll I saw earlier, they were kind of obviously it's closer than we think. I thought Embiid had this thing, pretty good. But now after seeing that straw poll, I think that Embiid kind of has to have that 1 seed to give him that extra that extra kind of leverage. If the Nuggets are a 5 or 6 seed, he's going to have that 1 seed. And I think every game here on out, I think we're gonna try and play for.
The MVP is gonna be a lot closer than you think.
Yeah.
You got 34, 35 third place votes. Third place, third.
It's because you got to look at it from a standpoint of there's some people out there that say Giannis is playing so well, and if he hadn't won MVPs, then his push would be more. Mm-hmm. So the fact that he's won those MVPs, people don't think the push is there. The same thing that's kind of hit Jokic this year. The fact that he won the MVP, now all of a sudden people are saying, it's kind of you're kind of thinking less of it, of the year that he's having. But those guys are having tremendous years. And then they're all lucky that LeBron's team isn't as good because he would be in the conversation.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, he would. With all the injuries they had, if they were like a 4 or 5 seed, he'd be in the running for sure.
And now you're getting this late push from Devin Booker. And Phoenix,
and Tatum.
Right now, I think aren't they the only team that has their seed locked?
I believe so. Yeah. Yep.
With
pretty crazy. Yeah, he deserves a lot of credit.
They're the only team, so that's impressive. Like they used to reward teams and players that played on winning teams, top seeds. But I just think it's going to be a lot closer. The vote, because it's for a lot of people that kind of like Joel. It's a lot of people that like Giannis and Jokic, and that's how you come up with so many third place votes. That's why.
Yeah,
and it's not like it's a public vote. It's not like people get on stage and kind of make their vote and they gotta stand up to it.
Yeah,
all these private votes, it's different. You could have someone that just don't like them. No matter how you play. So that MVP vote it's going to be interesting. I don't think it's a lock at all.
No, yeah. I mean, the third place, I was shocked seeing that. I mean, I'm not that shocked because Giannis has a lot of love, but I mean, man, what's Embiid got to do? I mean, I just don't know. If he's first and he doesn't get it, if we get first, if he doesn't get it, that's bad, I think.
What if Milwaukee gets first?
Yeah, it's a tough argument. It's a tough argument.
Regardless, more motivation for tonight's game.
Yeah, that's all we got to beat.
Yep, exactly.